We're about to dive into this incredible story of scientific discovery. And it's a story that proves even the teeniest, tiniest clues can completely flip what we thought we knew about the ancient world.
All right, so let's jump right in with the most important number for this whole story. 2. Yeah, just 2. 2 little fragments of bone. That's it. That's literally all paleontologists had to go on.
And you might be thinking, no way. Is that even enough to solve a mystery that's 60 million years old? Well, believe it or not, those 2 tiny bones kicked off a decades-long investigation into a creature that lived right at the dawn of a brand new age on Earth.
So, our story takes us to a pretty extreme place. We're talking about the desolate, wind-swept steppes of Central Asia. This is a place that holds ancient secrets, buried deep, deep in its rocks. And I mean, it's a harsh environment. Temperatures can swing from over 40 degrees Celsius in the summer all the way down to -30 in the winter. Wild. The evidence, those 2 little bones, they were unearthed at the Zhylgaia fossil site in Kazakhstan. And that's exactly where this creature gets its name, Zhylgaia. Now, this place is a total gold mine for paleontologists, but it's an incredibly tough place to work. It's crazy to think that these rocks, which were once warm tropical seabeds, preserved the only evidence we have that this animal ever even existed. Okay, but here's where the story gets really interesting, where it takes a sharp turn. Because for decades, the scientists studying these 2 little bones, they got the identity of this creature completely wrong. For years, everyone just assumed Zhylgaia was some kind of simple shorebird, something that hangs out on the beach. But then, with a closer look and some new analysis, boom, a shocking plot twist. It wasn't some humble shore-dwelling bird at all. Nope, it was something way, way more impressive. A globe-trotting, ancient seabird from a totally different branch of the family tree. So Zhylgaia was reassigned to this family, the Prophofontiae. And you gotta understand, this is a huge deal. This is an entirely extinct family of birds, the ancient ancestors of the tropicbirds we see flying around today. Just making that one change completely rewrote its entire life story. And that gives us a much cooler picture of its lifestyle, right? So unlike its modern cousins that do these spectacular plunge dives for food, scientists now think Zhylgaia and its family were more like the albatrosses of their time. Just imagine it, skimming effortlessly across the surface of a prehistoric ocean, snatching up fish and squid. And these birds weren't just hanging out around Kazakhstan, not even close. Fossils of their relatives have been found all over the planet. North America, Europe, Western Asia, even Northern Africa and New Zealand. It looks like they rapidly spread out and basically conquered the world's oceans in record time right after the dinosaurs disappeared. A true global invasion force. So let's talk about the worlds Zhylgaia lived in, because it was not our world. It was a planet that was literally recovering from total catastrophe. And this bird was one of the very first pioneers staking its claim on a devastated Earth. Zhylgaia lived during what we call the Paleocene epoch. It was soaring over these vast warm seas just 5 to 10 million years after the asteroid hit. Think about that. It was part of this grand evolutionary experiment on a planet that had basically been wiped clean.
And what a world it was. We're talking about a hothouse planet that we can barely even imagine today. It was like an alien Earth. There were no polar ice caps, sea levels were way, way higher than they are now, and you would have found lush tropical forests growing well inside the Arctic Circle. Just totally different.
So, okay, Zhylgaia itself is long gone, but its story, it's not quite over. There's one final mystery to solve, and a living connection to its ancient world.
And this brings us to the biggest unsolved piece of the puzzle. The entire family Zhylgaia belonged to, the Prophofontiae, they vanished. They're all gone. But their distant cousins, they somehow made it. So why? Why did one whole lineage thrive while the other just disappeared off the face of the Earth? Honestly, scientists still don't have the answer.
The mystery really kind of breaks down like this. Zhylgaia's family, the surface skimmers, they died out. The plunge divers, which became the modern tropicbirds, they're still here with us. So could that be it? Could that one difference in how they hunted for food be what made one a survivor and the other a fossil? It's a really fascinating question to think about.
So the next time you see a picture of one of those beautiful white tropic birds, the ones with the incredibly long, streamer-like tail feathers, maybe you've seen them in Hawaii or the Caribbean, I want you to remember what you're really looking at. You're looking at the last surviving link to Zhylgaia's ancient world, a living ghost from the age right after the dinosaur. The story of Zhylgaia proves it. From just 2 bones, a whole lost world was found. It just goes to show you that even the smallest, most insignificant-looking clue can unlock the epic history of our planet. And it really leaves you wondering, what other 2-bone mysteries are just waiting out there in the rocks, ready to completely change everything we think we know?